Guys, it's Jen here. You've got Flow and Go with Jen, class 6 of our mobility yoga series. So we are going to start standing, and only props that you'll need today is, maybe a small towel to cushion the knee. I don't have one with me today, so you can totally go without it, but if you do have sensitive knees, it would be a good option to have. So let's get started, and we will be standing. All right, so feet about hip distance apart. Take a moment to scan the body from the feet all the way up to the top of the head, noticing where we might be feeling maybe some tightness or irritability or anything like that. Gentle tuck of the tailbone under, engaging the deep core muscles. The feet are going to root down into our mat, lifting all 10 toes, creating that connection through all 4 corners of the feet. Give the fingers a little wiggle, a little shoulder roll, and then a nice deep breath in, and exhale it all out through the mouth. Awesome. Take one more of those. You are here. You have arrived. Inhale. And exhale. Taking the hands behind the back of the head. We're going to gently press hands into the head, head into the hands. Very small muscle contraction here. Opening up the elbows. Take a nice deep breath in. And breathe out. Good. Tucking the tailbone under. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale, side bending towards our right. Breathe in back to the center. And exhale, side bend left. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, chin will draw in, elbows will pinch in, and we'll begin to roll down into maybe forward fold. Inhale, we'll roll it back up. Opening up the chest the next time that we breathe in, and repeating that slow, mindful spinal roll. Awesome. Breathe it in, open up the chest. And then exhale, forward fold will stay folded. Good, drop the hands. Give the head a little shake, yes and no. And then let's take the fingers, we'll just bring them off to the right and to the left, to the right, and then back to the left. Coming back towards the center, let's roll up to stand. Take our time, there's no rush. Stacking the shoulders right underneath the ears. Let's breathe in, reach the arms up, get really tall here. Separate the hands, palms facing in. Create a little more space. Imagine as if they are magnets that are opposite, so they are repelling against each other, and you're trying to push them together. So we're creating our own resistance. That whole beach ball analogy. Breathe in, get tall. Breathe out. Set the shoulder blades down. Breathe in. And breathe out. Gentle twist towards our right. Inhale up. Gentle twist left. And breathe up. Exhale, let's forward fold. So I'm going to change my position so you can see. And once we're in forward fold, let's take our hands to the shins, press them into, create a flat back or a long spine here. Breathe and breathe out. Breathe in, create that length. And then breathe out. Take the hands down, and we're going to pick up the left foot. So this is kind of a 3-point balance. And once we're here, I'm just going to have you turn those left toes in, and then out, in, and then out. setting up for knee cars. So we know our thigh bone is staying still. We're not moving that guy. It's just rotation of those two lower leg bones. Internal rotation and external rotation. So if you have to peek up, go ahead and peek. We're going to turn our toes in, begin to extend out, and then we'll externally rotate just before we lock that knee out. Don't lock out the knee. Draw the knee back in, turn in, internal rotation, press out. External rotation, pull in. Internal rotation, press it out. Stay here. Toe stays out or in towards the midline. Now we'll draw the knee in, external rotation while we're flexed. Then we're going to extend, toe in, pull in, and then we'll externally rotate, out, internally rotate, flex. Good. Place the foot down. We'll come into a little tiptoe squat here. Getting a little stretch in towards the plantar fascia in the toes. Little movement, totally cool. We're just warming up. And then rock up onto the toes. And then set the heels back down. Rocking up onto the toes. And then set the heels back down. Let's go for the other side. So, bringing the hips up towards the sky. Place both feet flat. Again, give the head a little shake if you need to. Loosen up the neck. And let's shift the weight to our left foot, picking up the right. Turn the toes out. Turn the toes in. Toes out. Toes in. Now let's go ahead and turn the toes out. Extend through the knee, almost a full extension. And then let's go ahead and internally rotate and flex the knee joint. Externally rotate, extend. Internally rotate, flex. Good. Externally rotate, extend. Let's stay here. This time externally rotate and flex. Turn the toes in, internal rotation, and then we'll go ahead and extend. Externally rotate, come on in. Internal rotation, go ahead and extend. Draw the foot back towards the body, set the foot down, drop down into our tiptoe squat. Again, nice and tall through the spine. You want to play with balance here for a moment or two, have at it. Not quite there yet? Keep your hands down, it's totally cool. All right, so a little bit of toe work here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place the knees down. And I'm going to have to shift myself back a little bit because I want to have some room. We're going to get into the ankles and do some passive end range holds. So coming into a half kneeling position, great opportunity to pad the knee. You can even fold the mat over if you'd like. But I'm going to start in tall kneel. And then I'm going to take my left foot closest to you and step it forward. So we played with this in class 5, and we're just going to take a little bit of a different variation. So we're in half kneeling compared to that combat base, and pretty similar. End game is the same. So I'm going to take my right hand as my support, and I'm going to take my left to guide my knee as far as I can. So let me back up for you a bit. There we go. So I'm pressing into ankle dorsiflexion. You're going to get a little anatomy lesson. And I'm going to hold here. Aim of the game is up to 2 minutes. Right? So we'll get close to that. Biggest thing is we're here and this is active work. So if you feel the tissue give and there's a little more space, then utilize, pull up that slack on that space and get into it. Big breath in. Big breath out. Root that heel down towards the ground as you push forward. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Good. Last one. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Good. Come on back. And we're going to just tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. We're going to come through a little squat. And then come back to the start. So it's at the other side. We'll set up in our half kneel. So I've got my right hand on my right knee, and my left hand is my post. So I'm going to take a big breath in, and we're going to really get into that knee. So I have to come a little forward. Make adjustments, that's okay. So my right heel is firmly rooted down into my mat as I push my knee towards my big toe. Feeling a little slack, so I'm going to push a little bit harder, and at the same time that I push, that heel is going to press down, so creating that opposition. Good. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Good. Let's come out. We'll back it up. We'll come up to kneel. Now I set myself up so that my back is towards you. I'm going to switch my position just so I can see you. But we are going to transition by tucking the back toes, coming back into kind of that low squat. And then we'll come up to stand. My toes are still pointing outwards. I call this the power pose or superhero pose. So the hands are on the waist. Mindful of the pelvis that we're tucking the tailbone under to engage those deep core muscles. Lifting up through the crown of the head. Take 1 huge breath, biggest one you've taken all day. And exhale. Good. Lift up tall through the crown of the head. Breathe. And then a little baby back bend if the back is up for it today. Next time you breathe in, let's come up to stand. Turning my right toes out about 45 degrees. These back toes, make sure that they're facing forward and the outer edge of my foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. I'm going to bend through my front knee, placing my right hand onto my thigh. So here I am, I'm setting up for almost like a side angle pose. So we can just kind of work the shoulder a little bit, give a couple circles, and then we're going to take some shoulder carves. So the legs are going to stay strong, right? So I'm going to draw my thumb up and my bicep is going to scrape the cheek. So we're squeezing the core muscles. We're engaged in the legs, internal rotation. Go ahead and reach it all the way back, sweeping down towards the start. Good. Press it back. Externally rotate. Pinky side is going to lead. And all the way through to the start. Great job. Press it forward. Brush the cheek up towards the ear. Externally rotate. We continue that rotation as we extend and then flex through that shoulder. Great. Reverse it. Press all the way back. Flipping the palm as we extend. Reach up over the crown of the head. Pinky leads us down to the start. Great. Take the hand to our top hip. This guy here. We'll get some flexion and extension, flexion and extension. Great. So come back to nice neutral wrist, soft fist. We'll take some wrist carves. So easy circles. We'll go 2 in one direction. Really getting into every little millimeter of that range of motion. Good. Switch up the direction. Great. All right. Using the strength of your core, we'll come back up to where we started. Toes are going to face forward. Take a breath. Power pose. Exhale, coming halfway to a hover. And then we'll inhale back up to start, turning our back toes, our left toes out about 45 degrees, parallel with the back foot to the back edge of the mat, and bending through the knee. Mindful that we're tucking the tailbone under, creating that engagement in the pelvic muscles of the pelvic floor and our abdominal muscles. Take the left elbow to the thigh. Couple arm circles, don't think about it, and then we'll get into our shoulder carves. So stirring downwards, thumb is going to lead us up into flexion across the cheek, up to the ear. Externally rotate, huge body stretch on that top side of the body. Reach it back, internal rotation continues, and we find ourselves almost where we started. Push back, extend, reach, and then externally rotate. Bicep will brush the cheek, come back to the start. Good, strong legs here. Breathe in. Externally rotate, reach it back. Continue that internal rotation back to the start and reverse it. Fingertips reaching all the way back. I can't go any so I'm going to have to externally rotate. And the pinky side is going to bring us back down towards the start. Hand to the hip. Get some flexion and extension through that supported side. And then once we get back to kind of a neutral wrist, soft fist, we'll take two wrist cars in one direction. And then we'll reverse the direction. And the legs are strong here, they're working, okay? All right, beautiful. Come on up to stand. Turn the toes forward so that they are parallel. Lift up tall, breathe in. Breathe out halfway down. And then we'll place the hands down in front of us. Let the head and the neck relax. Go ahead and rock the weight forward just a little bit. Gonna take one more breath here. Exhale it out. And then we'll find ourselves facing the front edge of our mat and stepping our foot back to meet the left. We're in push-up plank. Pause here in push-up plank. Set the feet tight together so the inner arches are touching. Breathe in, round through the upper back. Breathe out. Breathe in and out. One last breath in. Breath out. Set the knees down, but don't touch. Hover. Lift back up into plank. Breathe in. Lengthen through the top of the head. Breathe out. Hover the knees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hover. One last inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. So once we're in downward facing dog, keep the feet close together. Legs are zipped up tight. Fingers are spread wide. As we inhale, come up onto the tips of the toes. The sitting bones are going to reach up tall towards the sky. One more breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale up onto the toes. Exhale lower. Keeping the left foot rooted down, we're going to lift the right, leading with the heel. Toes are going to spin down. Take a breath. Create the length in that lifted leg. And then as we exhale, we'll open up the hips to three-legged dog, hip opener. Opening the pelvis up to the right edge of the mat. Take a breath in here. Exhale, extend through the leg. Draw the knee up towards the nose. And step the foot forward. All right, so here we are. We've got our nice high lunge here, but with the hands supporting us. Place the back knee down. Come on up to tall half kneeling here. I'm going to take my hands onto the front thigh. Give a gentle press and stretch. Good. Back up out of this deep hip stretch, and I'm going to bring this back leg forward a little bit. So I'm actually going to step back. All right. Untucking the toes. This is where, again, that knee pad is going to become really handy. And I don't have one with me, so I'm going to fold my mat. All right, so narrow stance in our kneeling lunge here. I'm going to use my hands on my front thigh. Tuck my back toes briefly. Draw the heel towards the butt, and we're going to hold here. Hamstring isometrics. It's a good time, so pull in and hold. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Engaging the core. Go ahead and bring the heel up towards the butt. Pull in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Last one. Pull the heel in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Talk about a good time. All right. You're fighting the cramp. Maybe it was just me. So we'll untuck. We're going to step back into push-up plank. Breathe it in here, tip forward. Exhale, lower onto the belly. Untuck the toes, come into baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, tuck the toes, engage our core muscles, lift the quads up off the ground. We're going to go right into push-up plank. So inhale,
pelvis up towards the left edge of the mat. So we'll get a big hip flexor psoas opening here. Top half of the body is still squared down. So breathe here. Exhale, option is to bend that top knee. Good, another breath in. And breath out, extend through the top leg, turn the hips back down towards the ground, draw the knee in towards the nose. Step the foot down, and we'll drop our right knee. So just pausing for a moment here, make our adjustments in our clothes from being upside down. And I'll take my hands for some support, getting into that top knee for a bit of a stretch. So I have my back toes untucked. I'm pressing my 5 toes, top of the foot down into the mat, creating some little extra engagement. So we're here. Take an inhale and exhale. All right, so you know where we're going. So let's back it out. We'll narrow our stance a bit. Take that towel or mat fold for some support. And here we go. Right heel towards the glutes. Pull in for 3, for 2, for 1. Good, relax. Create that conversation between the hamstrings and the brain. Yes, this is happening. Pull the right heel in. Hold for 5. Whoop. Hold for 4. Hold for 3. Hold for 2. Hold for 1. Relax. Breathe in. Pull the heel in last time. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Good. Drop that back foot. Get the mat out of the way if you're like me. Step back into position plank. Breathe. Tip forward. Breathe out lower. Inhale. Untuck the toes. Baby cobra. Exhale lower. Retuck the toes. Squeeze the quads. Lift the thighs. Squeeze those elbows in tight. Breathe in. Push up. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Breathe in here. Separate the feet. Good. Last breath in. And then as you breathe out, set the knees down. And we're going to set ourselves up for a little bit of 90-90 work. So today, there's no real graceful way that I'm going to get you there. So I'm just going to take my right leg, bring it forward, and get myself set up. So checking in with our alignment, my front leg is going to be direct extension of my hip, knee is bent to 90, and then I'm flexing the ankle. For me, my trouble spot, maybe you too, is this back trail leg. Want to be sure that it's coming straight out of the hip, my knee is bent to 90, and my toes are flexed. So here we are, 90-90, great place to start. And every day we get in this position, it's going to feel a little bit different. Explore those differences and work with them. So here we are, we're sitting nice and tall. Breathe it in here. Breathe it out. Breathe in. And breathe out. All right, here we go. So we're going to go into some forward flexion. You have 2 options. So if that back hip, like mine, is feeling pretty tight today, pretty cranky, I'm going to use my hands. But if we're looking to up challenge, we can get the hands out and go unassisted. So fists, they're going to reach out, and we're just going to come forward into flexion. But for me today, I'm going to keep my hands down. All right. So lift tall wherever you are with your arms. Exhale, come straight forward. Inhale, back to start. This time I'm going to go diagonal towards my right. And back up to start. Good. Last one, I'm going towards this front leg. And then back to start. Here's the fun stuff. Take the hands, clasp them in front. Okay? We're going to sit up tall. My back leg is going to do some work. So, pressing my front right knee down, ground it. I'm going to sweep my left foot forward. And then I'm going to sweep that same left foot back. Sweep forward and back. Good. Last one. Sweep forward. Awesome work. And back.
You did it. Let us go to the other way. It's not going to be easy, they'll make you work for it. So we are going to transition as we have in the past, starting with the trail leg to external rotation. So here we go. Sit up nice and tall, breathe in. Engage the core, breathe out. Exhale it all out. Begin to lift the back knee. Lift, lift, lift. And now I'm going to start to rotate my torso. Eventually, this other side's going to join us for the ride. Bear sit, hello. And then transition to the opposite side. I'm going to position myself so I'm right in the middle so you can see. I'm going to readjust because this is a work in progress. Okay, here we go. So again, I'm going to opt to keep my hands down to support me today because my hips aren't, I don't think, warm enough to really get after it. But if you are ready to go unassisted and really challenge yourself. So here we go, breathe in tall, breathe out, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, diagonal left. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, diagonal towards the big toe. Come back to the center. And we're going to get ready to work this trail leg. So, interlace hands in front. Strong upper body, super still but sturdy. We're going to pick up that back leg, press my front knee down, and sweep forward. Lift, sweep back, lift, forward. Last one. Come back to the start. Ooh, that was weak, Jen. You could do better. Lift the knee, sweep forward, lift, sweep back. Great. All right, we're coming to that bear sit. We're going to stay there. So here we go. Press this knee down into the mat, my front leg. I'm going to lift my trail. Lift as I rotate my upper body to face you. Here we go. My front leg is going to follow. Here we are in bear sit. Hello. And then I'm going to take my hands down and extend the legs. So we're going to do a little pancake work today. Who doesn't like pancakes? For me, it's Saturday. Of course, there's pancakes. So pancake is essentially working on the straddle. And it takes time, patience, discipline, and a lot of work. So we're going to lift up tall with the crown of the head. This might be it. Okay, that is okay. It's a starting point. Right? If we have some space to come into forward flexion, let's go ahead and work that. So lifting up tall, aim of the game is the back and the spine stays upright and long. So flexing my toes, they're pointing upwards towards the sky. And I'm going to take about 6 breaths or so to get myself to my end range. So don't focus on the way it looks, focus on the way it feels. And comparison is a dangerous thing. So what mine looks like, or maybe your workout partner looks like, everybody's body's built differently. So work with what you got, get into that sensation. We've got 5 more breaths to go. As you breathe, imagine lengthening through the spine as if someone's pulling the top of your head by a string, and then as you exhale, you soften down. Good, 3 more breaths to go. Constantly refining, looking at the details for the last 2 breaths. So last breath cycle, finish that up. And then wherever you are, we'll just kind of backpedal ourselves. Be mindful. This is a pretty deep posture to be in. And then I'm going to take my right heel, draw it in, knee is bent, so I'm going to half straddle, sit up nice and tall. And I'm just going to kind of root down through my sitting bones, reconnect there. And then on my right side, I can kind of pull the fleshy part of the glutes away so we can really create that connection between the sitting bones and the mat or the floor. Sitting up tall, my left toes are flexed strongly upwards towards the ceiling. Lift up, Exhale, placing the hand on the outer edge of the left hand, or left leg, interesting. Reach the right arm up. Good. Pause here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Refine. Breathe in. Get tall. Breathe out. Side bend stretch. Coming into, again, that sensation. Not as focused on what it looks like. So my right sitting bone is firmly connected downwards as I reach my right arm away. So nice, long, big side stretch, and it feels awesome. So open up the chest, roll the heart space forward. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Look down if the neck is up for it. Look up. Looking down. And looking up. Good, one more of those. And then up. Awesome. So I'm going to take my top arm. Fingers are going to wiggle. The rest of my body stays put. Palms are going to face down. Get a nice deep neck stretch here. Turn the gaze downwards. Take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Reaching away, using that strength and the core to bring ourselves back to neutral spine. In yoga, we like to help ourselves out, so I brought my head back to neutral. And then I'm going to switch sides. So I'm going to bring my foot to the opposite side, and I'm going to draw my heel in towards my body. Flexing my right toes, sitting up nice and tall. And I'm going to take, for a moment here, my right hand to the outside of my right leg, reaching my left up towards the sky, and pause. So both sitting bones are connected onto my mat. I'll take a breath in here again, and then exhale, gentle side bend. Left sitting bone still creating that connection, so deeply rooted downwards as my left arm reaches up and over. Big side body stretch. Be mindful about maybe turning downwards. Open the chest. If that's not working, then back out of that side bend, and then you'll have more space. Good. So stay here for another 2 breaths. And exhale. One more breath. Exhale, turn the gaze down. Reach the fingers, palms down, away from the body. We'll look up and down. And we'll find ourselves with the gaze down. Nice neck stretch here, so we'll breathe into that space. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale one more time. Begin to pull ourselves up to a neutral spine using the hand for a little extra added support. And then I'm going to draw my other ankle in towards my body, sitting up nice and tall, create a tight little ball. And we'll just finish up with some neck carves. So breathe in. Exhale, breathe out, chin to the chest. Rotating towards my right. Find myself in some side flexion. Rotate, extend, roll through to the left. Ear stacks over the shoulder. Rotating the gaze downwards and draw the chin back towards the center. Let's reverse. Coming into that side bend stretch. Rotate and extend. Coming through to my right side. Rotate downwards and back to flexion. Inhale back to the center. Nice job. Breathe in. Breathe out. Awesome. Uncross the legs. We're going to get ourselves onto our back to finish up. So we'll start with the feet grounded. I'm going to lift my toes. And I'm going to place my hands, palms facing up towards the sky. Take a breath. Lift up tall. Breathe out. Pull belly button in towards the spine. Engage those deep core muscles. Breathe in. Exhale, come back about 2 inches. Breathe in, lift up tall. Breathe out, 2 inches. Pause here. Check in with the pelvis, check in with the belly. Everything should be working here. Hold, breathe. Breathe out, hold. Breathe in. Breathe out, turn the hands in. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, lower 2 more inches. Good. Pause here, breathe.
Exhale 2 more inches. Breathe in, a little shake. Breathe out 2 more inches. This is a challenge for me. And then if you'd like to try 2 more inches, go for it, but I know I'm gonna find myself on my back. And come back onto our back, or supine. Knees are bent. And just for a moment, we're gonna take our feet flat, space about 2 fist distance, and hug those heels in towards the glutes. Find that pelvic tilt, so we press the low back down into the mat. So breathe here, place the hands, palms up towards the sky, lift the hips. We'll take a mini bridge. Inhaling here. Exhale it all out through the mouth. Inhale again. Exhale it out. Last one, breathe in. And breathe out. Set the hips back down onto the mat. Separate the feet about width of your mat and let the knees drop in towards each other. This is where we'll end for today. I hope you enjoyed the class. Take a few moments of stillness. Maybe enjoy a little bit of quiet. For me, I'm just enjoying a little bit of the sounds of nature, dogs, birds, and my favorite though, the rustle of the leaves in the trees. So hang out here for a moment or two, or maybe a bit longer. Thank you again for practicing.